Hey, we left off on page 44. Well, it's 44 in my book. You might have a different book with different numbers in it. But we left off with Ralph. Ralph threw his leg over the motorcycle and settled himself comfortably in the seat. Perfect, just perfect. The boy was obviously delighted that his motorcycle was just right for a mouse. Ralph could not have agreed more heartily. It was perfect, except for one thing. He did not know how to start it. Well, go on, said the boy. Ride it. Ralph was ashamed to confess his ignorance. Okay? So that means Ralph felt bad that he had to tell Keith that he didn't know how to ride the motorcycle. Ignorance is not educated. You don't know how to do something. I don't know how to start it, he admitted. It's the first motorcycle I have ever had a chance to ride. Well, you have to make a noise, the boy explained matter-of-factly. These cars don't go unless you make a noise. Oh, the answer was so obvious, Ralph was disgusted with himself for not knowing without asking. He grasped the hand grips and, fearful lest his noise be too squeaky, managed to Sure enough, the motorcycle moved. It really and truly moved across the threadbare carpet. Ralph was so excited that he promptly forgot to make the noise. The motorcycle stopped. Ralph started it again. This time he remembered to keep on making the noise. He sped off into a square of moonlight on the carpet and found a good threadbare spot without any bumps. Look out for your tail, said the boy. Don't let it get caught in the spokes. The spokes are the metal bars on the motorcycle that go out from the wheel. Thanks for reminding me, said Ralph, causing the motorcycle to stop. He started it again and steered with one paw while he reached back with the other, caught up his tail, and held the tip safely against the handlebar. It was a glorious sensation, speeding around on the carpet, freely and noisily, and most of all, fast. Ralph discovered that if he made the noise fast, the motorcycle speeded up. If he slowed the sound, the motorcycle slowed down. He promptly speeded up and raced around in the rectangle of moonlight, where he made another discovery. When he ran out of breath, the momentum, which means speed, of the motorcycle carried him on until he could take another breath. Gee, you're lucky, whispered the boy. In order to answer, Ralph had to stop. I am? It had never occurred to him that a mouse could be luckier than a boy. You sure are, the boy spoke with feeling. My mother would never let me ride a motorcycle. She would say I might break a leg or something silly like that. Well, if you want to come right down to it, said Ralph, I don't suppose my mother would be exactly crazy about the idea. He began to have an uneasy feeling that he really should be getting back to the mouse hole. Anyway, said the boy gloomily, that means sadly, it will be years and years before I'm old enough to ride a motorcycle. And then when I am old enough, my mother won't let me. Ralph really felt sorry for the boy, hampered as he was by his youth and his mother. Hampered means held back. So he's young and his mom won't let him. So he's kind of held back from doing what he wants to do. Go on, write it some more, said the boy. I like to watch. Ralph started the motorcycle again and rode around in the moonlight once more, faster and faster, until he was dizzy from circling, dizzy with excitement, dizzy with the joy of speed. Never mind the danger, never mind what his mother thought. This was living. This was what he wanted to do. On and on and on. Lucky, whispered the boy with envy in his voice. Ralph did not answer. He did not want to stop. And envy means you want something that someone else has. So we'd say that Keith is envious of Ralph because Ralph gets to ride the motorcycle. That is the end of chapter 4. Oh, and this shows a better picture here of the spokes. If you look at the picture in your book, you can see the metal pieces that go around and hold the wheel on. All right. Our clue word is lucky. Our clue word's lucky. Write it down before you forget. Okay, you're going to turn in your packet to page 21. And I know that these pages, there are pages skipped because I didn't choose to do every page in the book. It would have been way too much. So it's chapter 4 after you read. So you are going to answer these questions. We have true and false, and then fill in the circle. Look back in the book if you can't remember, and go ahead and finish this right now. So go ahead and hit pause while you finish chapter 4. You want to do it right now while the story is fresh in your mind. Okay, let's look at our What a Day page. All right, that's also in your packet. There's a little 27 at the bottom, and this is in the smaller packet. Now let's look at these pictures. It says on the lines under each picture, write a sentence that describes what's happening in the picture. Then number the pictures to show the order of events in the story. Okay, so you need to write a sentence. Remember, it needs to have a capital letter and a period. Have any of these things happened yet? Okay. And the only one actually that has happened so far is that Ralph has fallen into the wastebasket. So right here, you're going to put a 1. And up in just the corner here, we know this happened. It happened at this is the very last page of chapter 2. He's falling in the wastebasket. And then chapter 3, he spends trapped, all right, inside the wastebasket. Okay? And it ends with him finally falling asleep behind the apple core in the wastebasket. So at least he fell asleep with a full tummy. So for number 1, we're gonna write that this was we'll just put that this is chapter 3 because pretty much, well, all of chapter 3 is him in the wastebasket. Now we need to write a sentence telling what is happening in this picture. Okay, so let's write Ralph fell into the, you can say trash or you can say wastebasket. Wastebasket is kind of an old word. You know how I talked to you about wash basin, how my grandma calls the bathroom sink a wash basin. So it seems like people used to call the trash can waste baskets quite a few years ago, but now we usually just call it the trash can or the garbage can. Okay. And I actually put up here, I actually put chapter 2 to 3. I changed that because it was technically chapter 2 when he fell in, the very end. And then he was in the wastebasket all chapter 3. And then wastebasket is actually one word. So whenever we have a big long word and we can't fit it onto the line, we can either put the word all on a new line or we can put a dash at the syllable break. So waste basket. So waste basket would definitely be a syllable break in that word. All right. Okay, let's do a clue word. And let's have our clue word be core, the apple core, C-O-R-E. Thanks for hanging with me today. I know chapter 4 was kind of a long chapter, but I really liked it. I will see you soon. Bye.